Imagine this. A billionaire, yes, a man worth more money than most of us could ever dream of, was humiliated at a checkout counter after his card declined not once, not twice, but 3 times. Just as everyone in the queue begins to laugh, a little girl steps forward and does the unimaginable that stuns everyone present, something that changes both of their lives forever. The late afternoon sun dipped low over a quiet Midwestern town, where life moved slowly and neighbors knew each other's names. But today, inside a modest grocery store, something unexpected was about to unfold. The billionaire, David Langford, a man who usually traveled in private jets, stayed at 5-star hotels, and was treated with respect everywhere he went, walked in dressed in a plain hoodie, jeans, and sneakers. He wanted anonymity. He wanted to feel normal for once. Nobody recognized him. And that's exactly what he wanted, at least, until he reached the checkout line. He placed his items on the counter: bread, milk, some fruit, and a few household essentials. For once, he wasn't buying luxury, just the basics. The cashier, a young man chewing gum, barely glanced up. "That'll be $42.75, he said flatly. David slid his sleek black credit card into the machine. Declined. He frowned, tried again. Declined. By the third attempt, whispers started spreading down the line. Imagine being at the top of the world, and in one ordinary grocery store, everything crumbles. The cashier's patience was wearing thin. "Sir, do you have another card, or maybe cash?" David felt his face flush hot. For the first time in years, he felt something unfamiliar: embarrassment. The whispers grew louder. A couple in line snickered. An older woman muttered under her breath, and that's when it happened. A soft, innocent voice broke the tension. "I can help." Everyone turned. Behind David stood a little black girl, no older than 9, clutching a small basket. Inside it was just a single pack of cookies and a little bouquet of flowers wrapped in plastic. She stepped forward timidly, her small hand holding out a crumpled $10 bill. "You can use mine. My mom says, when you see someone in need, you help if you can." The store fell completely silent. David froze. A billionaire, one of the richest men in America, was being offered help by a child who clearly didn't have much herself. And in that silence, David Langford realized he was about to learn a lesson money could never buy. But what this little girl was about to sacrifice will leave the billionaire in tears. Stay with me. In a world where money buys respect, power, and even silence, what happens when the richest man in the room is humbled by the smallest voice? The billionaire stared at the girl, stunned. She was serious. Her small fingers gripped the money tightly, yet he could see the hesitation in her eyes. He knelt down slowly, his voice breaking. "Why would you do this for me?" She looked at him with wide, innocent eyes. "Because you need help. And my mom says you don't wait to see who someone is. You just help." The cashier looked annoyed. "Sir, are you taking it or not? People are waiting." David glanced at the girl's basket. "Are you sure? You need this money for your things." The girl nodded, but her lips trembled. "It's okay. The flowers, they were for my mom. She's been sick, but she'd want me to help." Can you imagine a child willing to give up the one thing that could bring her sick mother joy, just to help a stranger she didn't even know? David swallowed hard. For once, he accepted. Not because he needed the money, but because he realized rejecting her kindness would crush her spirit. "Thank you," he whispered. "You have no idea what this means." The girl smiled faintly, but behind her smile was a sacrifice David couldn't ignore. As he carried his bag outside, the whispers from the crowd still echoed in his ears. Some people mocked him, others shook their heads, but none of them knew who he really was. And for the first time, David didn't care. But later that night, David Langford would uncover something about this little girl's life that would shatter his heart, and it would drive him to do something unimaginable. Because what David discovered next would change everything. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness hides the biggest struggles. And when the truth comes out, it can break even the strongest hearts. That night, David couldn't sleep. The girl's words echoed in his mind. "My mom says, when you see someone in need, you help if you can." He had more than enough resources to track her down. And he did. By the next afternoon, David was parked outside a rundown apartment complex in the rougher part of town. Paint peeled from the walls, and broken bikes littered the stairwells. He watched as the little girl, Maya, walked home carrying a bag of groceries far too heavy for her small frame. Through the cracked window of their apartment, David saw a frail woman coughing violently on the couch. That was Maya's mother. In that moment, David realized this little girl didn't give out of abundance. She gave out of scarcity, and that broke him. Maya placed the flowers she'd bought back on the table, arranging them carefully in an old glass jar. She smiled at her mom. "Look, Mom, they're for you." Her mother, weak but grateful, pulled her daughter close. "You always know how to make me feel better, baby." David's eyes welled with tears. The billionaire who had everything was now staring at the kind of love and sacrifice money couldn't buy. But his heart broke further when he overheard the landlord banging on their door. "You're 2 months behind. I can't keep waiting. Pay up or you're out by the end of the week." Maya's mother pleaded softly. "Please, I just need more time. I'm working extra shifts. I'll get it." The landlord shook his head. "I've heard that before. End of the week, or you're done." David clenched his fists. How could a child who gave everything she had be living under the constant threat of losing it all? But David wasn't about to walk away. No, he was about to do something that would change Maya's life forever. The only question was, would they even accept his help? Very soon, David would take a risk that could backfire in ways he never expected. When someone tries to give you the world, sometimes it feels too heavy to take. And for Maya's family, accepting help wasn't as simple as it seemed. The next morning, David showed up at their door with a humble knock. Maya answered, surprised. You're the man from the store." Her mother struggled to sit up. "Who are you? Why are you here?" David hesitated, then spoke carefully. "My name is David Langford, and I owe your daughter more than I can ever repay." Maya's mother frowned. "Langford." The billionaire David nodded. "Yes, but yesterday, I wasn't a billionaire. I was just a man in need, and your daughter showed me the meaning of true generosity. I want to help your family." The mother shook her head firmly. "No, we don't need charity." David's chest tightened. "This isn't charity. This is gratitude. Your daughter gave me something no amount of money ever could. Please, let me do this." Maya looked at her mom, pleading softly. "Please, Mama. He means it." The room went silent. The mother's pride battled with her reality. She didn't want handouts, but the eviction notice taped on the fridge said otherwise. Finally, her shoulders sank. "All right, if you really mean it, help us keep our home." David smiled gently. "Not just your home. I want to change your lives." But little did Maya's mother know, David's plan went far beyond just paying rent. And what he revealed next would leave them both in shock. Because David's final gesture will bring everyone to tears and remind us all what true wealth really means. Wealth isn't measured by what we keep for ourselves, but by what we give to others. And for David Langford, one little girl had just taught him the most important lesson of his life. David sat across from Maya and her mom. "I've already paid off your debts and cleared your rent," he said softly. "But that's just the beginning." Maya's mom gasped. "What do you mean?" David pulled out a folder. "I bought you a home. A safe, comfortable place where you never have to worry about eviction again." Tears streamed down her face. She covered her mouth, trembling. You did what?" Maya squealed with joy, hugging her mom tightly. But David wasn't done. "And Maya, I'm setting up a fund for your education. You'll have every opportunity to succeed. Whatever you dream of, college, career, you'll never have to worry about the cost." The room filled with sobs of gratitude. David himself choked up, whispering, "I thought being rich meant never needing anyone. But your daughter showed me, real wealth isn't about money. It's about kindness, love, humanity." He looked at Maya and smiled. And in that small-town grocery store, a billionaire's card may have failed him, but a little girl's kindness gave him something priceless, a heart that finally understood true generosity. Moral of this story. This story reminds us of something powerful. True wealth isn't measured by what's in your bank account, but by the kindness you show when no one's watching. Sometimes, the smallest hands can teach the biggest hearts what it really means to give. What did you learn from today's story? Let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe for more powerful life lessons. And remember, we're not just telling stories, we're changing lives.